According to a new United Nations report, the devastating impacts of human-caused climate change are happening now.
Today's IPCC report is an atlas of human suffering and a damning indictment of failed climate leadership.
And those impacts are getting worse and could potentially be irreversible.
Nearly half of humanity is living in the danger zone now. Many ecosystems are at the point of no return now.
The report lays bare multiple threats, such as weather extremes, drought, and fire, that have already disrupted human life and natural ecosystems, in some cases beyond the point where either are able to adapt.
The report makes it clear that those impacts are more widespread and happening more quickly than we had thought previously.
The report stresses that significant change needs to occur in the next decade to prevent irreversible damage.
And science tells us that will require the world to cut emissions by 45% by 2030 and achieve net zero emissions of greenhouse gases by 2050. But according to current commitments, global emissions are set to increase almost 14% over the current decade.
What's new in this report are multiple adaptation strategies that can be successful if the global temperature rise is limited to 1.5 degrees Celsius.
If we start protecting people with the types of solutions that we're implementing now, rather than waiting until later, we are more likely to save money in the future.
Viable solutions are on the table, but scientists and experts are urging action now, not later.
Adaptation and mitigation must be pursued with equal force and urgency. Every fraction of a degree matters, every voice can make a difference, and every second counts.
Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
So let's take a look at the report by the numbers. Today's children who may be alive by the year of 2100 will experience weather disasters 4 times more often than we do right now. Already, at least 3 billion people are highly vulnerable to climate change in their daily lives and are 15 times more likely to die from extreme weather, according to that report. But there are a couple of ways you can individually impact climate change. Simple changes to your life can make a big difference. One of those, your diet.
If the average American took just one burger out of their diet a week, it would be like taking 10 million cars off the road a year. So it's an enormous impact that we can make by just making a small change.
Data shows livestock production is responsible for 14% of global greenhouse gases, and methane emissions from pigs have increased by 37% in the last 15 years. For cattle, it's 50%. More fast food chains are making it easier to eat plant-based, with McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, and KFC now offering veggie options. Another way to help is by changing something in a weekly chore.
It might not feel like you can have that much impact, but getting 200 million people all to make one little change adds up to massive impact.
Mckenzie, co-founder of True Earth, helps solve climate crisis by making products with less plastic. That actually includes laundry detergent. He says a simple change you can make when you do a load is use less soap. The average person overdoses on laundry detergent by 30%. And try to look for better packaged detergent. 91% of those plastic bottles are not recyclable.